Hello, Assalamualaikum. My name is Hazan Mazuki. Together with my teammates Muhammad Lokman bin Amir and Yuwandu Collins Chukuzu, we will present to you our object-oriented system analysis and design project which is Bank Islam mobile application. Alright, so I will be covering the project in overview part. I will tell you the introduction to our system, the objective of our system, the actors in our system, and system capabilities of our system. Alright, so the introduction, the project background and real life situation is an automated teller machine or an ATM and bank to view their transaction history, transfers, and other basic ATM functionalities. The new system proposal that we did is an online application to make it more accessible to our customers. Alright, the objective of our system is to improve the time of transferring funds, payment of bills and loans, to allow easier usage without the need of an ATM, to increase the efficiency and productivity, and to allow users to check their spendings and check available balances of their accounts. Alright, so the actors in our system is the user itself and of course the bank admin. Alright, the system capabilities of our system is it can view transaction history, it can transfer funds to different accounts, it can make payment of loans and cards, payment of bills also, and view account balance, and as well as register towards the account. That's all for my part. I will pass down to my colleague Yuwandu Collins for the next one. Thank you.
We work on user and bank admin. Use case: a set of process and interaction with a system to achieve a certain functionality and goals. Each actor has a goal, use case, when they use the system, and these goals are portrayed in the use case diagram. This is use case diagram, online banking Islam banking system. As you can see, this diagram is working. This diagram we are working on. This is the user and this is the admin, bank admin. As user walk into the bank, first of all, user have to go direct to the admin to make a request. Then the request is for the bank to open, register an account for the user. As you can see, after the registration of the account, the user, before the user will view transaction history and the opening account, the user have to log in. That is includes in the use case. If user want to move forward to other transactions, the user have to extend. It has to extend to other branches like Paybix, transfer money, loan and bank payments. That's why you see all these signs extend. That is, from here is extend. Structural modeling, design class diagram. The design class diagram consists of the following classes. It describing the objects and entities in our system, relationship between each class, association and generalization, the attributes in the classes to describe the objects, and the methods to describe the behavior. This is class diagram, this is accounts, and this is the user. This, in a bank where there is one account, it has to deal with one user. From here, the user before the user have to make use of other functions, the user have to key in the username and password to log in. From logging in, you can see from one user to zero, from 0 to infinity. That is the why we specify all the tabs, all the works here, for you to see the from 1 to 0, from 0 to infinity. The same thing, user from one user to zero, from zero to infinity, being pay loan and credit card. Credit card, it has to deal with card number, account type, amount, date, and reference. The same thing, the user have to extend, have to move on from 1 to 0, from 0 to infinity. That's to pay bills, biller, account type, amount, and dates. Behavioral modeling, sequencing diagram. I have to pass to my colleague, Lukman, to continue with sequencing diagram. Thank you very much.
Right, so evening, my name is Roman. I'll be presenting part of the Bank Islam mobile app proposal. So now we're moving on to the behavioral modeling sequence diagram. So what a sequence diagram, it shows the interactions between the actors, which are the user and the bank admin itself. And all the internal objects of the systems, everything in between as well. The interactions are described in form of messages passed from specific sources, actor, UI controller to specific destinations, objects / entity. Let's move on. So there are three system sequence diagrams that we have. One is for reviewing account balance, the other one is to transfer funds, and the last one is to check. And the last one is to check your transaction history. So let's start off with the account balance. So what the user does, the user first logs into the app UI, and then the app UI sends it to the system to verify the details. If the details are true, are valid, it will start the interface, and then the user can have access into their account. So from there, the user would click check account balance, and it will send a request from the app UI to the system and onto the bank database itself, whereby the system would retrieve the account balance from the user's account. From there, it bounces back, whereby the system displays the account balance onto the app UI, and the user can review their account balance. So now let's move on to the transaction history. Flow is sort of similar to previously, whereby user logs into the app UI and the system verifies the details. What differs now is, instead of clicking to view their account balance, the user clicks to view their transaction history. This would send a request to the system, and the system would try to find the account inside the bank database. When the account has been retrieved, it will display the transaction history. This would include the transfer, the cash out, the date, and the time. So let's move on to transfer. So from the use case diagram, there are three different kinds of transfer. There is the pay bills, transfer money to different accounts, and lastly to pay loan and card. So let's start off. So the user logs into the app UI, the system verifies the details and starts the interface. So the user then clicks pay transfer. This will send a request to the system, and whereby the system would prompt options. There are three, which are transfer, pay bills, pay loan and card. So the user would click transfer. It will prompt the details. So this is where the user needs to fill in the details of the account holder that they want to transfer their money to, a recipient account. So a bank account is the user's own account. Maybe if a user has multiple accounts inside the same bank, the Do It Now ID or the account holder's, the recipient's ID, the amount of money that the user wants to transfer, the date, maybe the user wants to transfer tomorrow or the day after, and lastly the recipient reference. This is for the recipient to know who passed the money to them. So the user would fill in the detail and then send a request. The system would check the details with the bank database. This is to make sure that all the details that have been filled are correct, and to check whether the user as well has enough balance in their account. from the deduction. So what it does, the user clicks confirm, and then the bank sends a confirmation of a bank account, holder name, amount, time and date. From there, the app UI sends a request to the system to deduct the fund, and then after successful transfer, it will display the current account balance of the user. So to conclude, the proposed Bank Islam banking app aims to ease user in transferring funds and review account balance, as well as the system. The system will make any common bank related activities more convenient and faster. So the purpose of our Bank Islam app is because currently there are no apps for this kind of stuff. This is very similar to CIMB Clicks, but with Bank Islam, the only way for you to transfer is either through a mobile website. There's nothing that is similar to an app. And if you want to check your transaction history, you have to go to a bank and then ask for a bank slip. Same goes with transferring funds or pay bills and loans. You have to go to an automated teller machine, aka an ATM. So now we'll move on to the prototype demonstration.
So here is the prototype demonstration of the Bank Islam bank online banking app. So the first thing you do as a user, you have to sign in with your user ID. So if you have not registered yet, you can click on the left here, tap on the left, and then there's the logo which goes back to the main page, or you go to the registration which redirects you to Bank Islam's website. So let's log in. This is a prototype, so you can't actually do anything. So just press login. So let's start off with the account summary. Account summary is basically you view your current balance in your bank. Click it. The app will prompt for your password. You fill in your password. If it's valid, it'll show your available balance and your current balance. So from here to next to the account details, there's an arrow both left and right. The left one redirects you back to the main menu, while the right proceeds to log out. So we have an option. So if you either go yes or no, let's go no. So let's go back to the main menu. Transaction history is very self-explanatory. Again, you enter your password before you proceed, and then it shows your transaction history. Let's go back. So this tab on the left, you click transfer and it'll separate into three. Pay bills, pay loans, and cards or transfer money. You have to enter your password and log in again, and you enter the details of the recipient. If it's transfer money, you have to enter the do it now ID. You have to choose your savings account and then the amount and the date. Press transfer. It'll show you the recipient as a confirmation, the amount, and then the approve. And then if the transfer goes through, it says transaction successful. So from here, we have an option to either go back to the main menu or log out. So same goes with the loans and cards. Log in. Instead of the do it now ID, it's loan account or card number. Everything else the same. Example, go back. And lastly, with bills as well. So bills is just enter biller, account, amount, and the date. Example. So from here, you even have an option to log out from the main menu or wherever you want. Okay, proceed. Let's log in again. So say for instance you're doing a transfer and you already filled in the details and then you decide not to. If you can go back, or you can log out, proceed to log out. So from here it cancels any transaction. So yeah, that's pretty much it.